Okay, don't know what that was. Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
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 Yeah. I just want to make sure. I don't know. That thing was kind of weird. That thing went off twice. Yeah, I said we're gonna have problems. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My
Good
name is
evening,
Mario
everyone.
Hardy, aka DJ Rat. We have Eric and Marcella, Jalisa, and Miss Chenny, DJ Chenny May at the corner. And tonight, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about snitches get stitches versus see something, say something. And which technique, or I should say, what technique are you going to use to protect your neighborhood? Are you going to be quiet or are you going to say something? So we always start off. You know what, Shane, since you're in the corner, we'll start with you first. Um, which way are you gonna go?
I'm a fight or flight, man. Because you gotta protect yourself out here. The world getting crazy, your city getting crazy.
So so you're gonna snitch?
Am I snitching?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
won't say that out
Um.
loud, but knowing myself and protecting my family, that's like, okay, I was watching world news the other day and there was this lady, she got attacked, but she wanted to protect the person that attacked her. And I'm like, that's so backwards. And then the police she was trying to give the police asked her for a description of who was attacking you, and she didn't want to say like the race or anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
Yeah.
why you putting yourself in a position where the police is involved and you need protection over yourself, but you don't want to give out no names of who, because you were just in a vulnerable state, and these people could do something. If this person did this to you, what do you think they're not going to do to somebody else?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Correct.
So you have to stop
That's a
it
good
in the
example.
moment before it carries on to
That's
somebody.
you stop it there. Okay.
That's
Eric,
my input.
Marcella, let y'all answer next.
What's the
Which way
question
y'all
again,
gonna do? Y'all
Mario?
gonna snitch?
You know,
Are
snitch
y'all
or you
going
see
to
No,
something,
snitch
I'm
say
or
gonna
y'all
something.
going to say something?
See something, say something.
I'm gonna see something and say something because to me when they say either you gonna snitches get stitches, they ain't nothing but corrupt. You know what I'm saying? When you say that, it's like when if you snitch or if you don't snitch, that means that you're trying to be a cover up for something. So like
Correct.
Shannon said, you can help the next person out, or even your community. Because if it starts in your community, if you see something in your community, you know that if it starts with you and you don't turn it in or tell, then they're gonna go to the next. They're gonna go to the next house and then the next house, and they're gonna try to get away with it. So I'm definitely gonna see and tell.
Okay.
Correct.
Eric?
See something, say something. Going back to what Shannon said, you wanna my mentality is I want to stop it from happening again. So I have to say something. I have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important that you do that. Saying snitches get stitches, that don't make sense. So you mean to tell me if I see somebody get attacked, I don't do nothing and I don't say nothing? So if he don't care what he did to that person,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets an idea of somebody tell him that you saw it, what you think gonna happen to you? He gonna say, "Oh, my bad. Oh, you saw it. You didn't tell on me.
Mm.
You're not a snitch, so you safe. I'm gonna leave your house now." It doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. The A good example is the Spider-Man series. He had a chance to stop somebody, help a cop out from a robber, and he shows I'm bigger than that. I'm Spider-Man. He walks away from it. That same dude kills his aunt that same night. See, when you should have said you saw something, you should have said something. You could have prevented that from happening to somebody else. That's how I look at it. Just like she said earlier, the world is getting crazier, and the city ain't getting no better.
See something, say something. Call me what you want to call me, but you won't call me quiet.
Correct. Correct.
Jaleesa?
Jalisa, what's your input on it? You going to snitch or you going to say something?
I'm gonna snitch immediately. Immediately. Call me the snitch of the neighborhood, honey. Call me the snitch. One thing I like to do, my kids, they leave for school at 7 a.m. I am on my porch at 7 a.m., making sure they get on the bus, and all the kids get on the bus. I am also on my porch at 2 p.m. because I know the kids get off between 2 and 3:45. I'm on that porch. I see and I hear and I know the neighborhood. I know my at least the first two streets. I know my streets. And I tell it all. I tell it all. When we have our HOA meetings and we meet up in that big old building and we talk about what can we do better, I'm on the podium speaking about, yeah, this could be better and we need a stoplight here and some more lighting there for the kids. I'm gonna speak about it. It's not about me, it's about my kids and their safety. At the end of the day, as long as my kids are safe, as long as everybody's kids are safe, I'm good to go. I'm gonna speak. Call me a snitch, call me what you want. The only person that I answer to is God.
Right.
Now, the way things have changed in today's society, what the police force has made it is they made it easy for you to be able to give information and it not trace back to you. There's you can do anonymous. I mean, there's so many different things you can do to submit information. So it's no longer like it used to be back in the days where everything had to be official. So that's one of the biggest things. It makes it easier for people to come forward. Because what is it called? What Crime Stoppers?
Crime
Hotline?
Stoppers. They got
Crime Stopper.
hotlines. They got
Right.
anonymous. They got all that stuff. All you got to do is just make a phone call. All they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do is follow up with the tip. They're gonna listen, and if the tip makes sense, they're gonna follow up on it. And you don't even have to go. You don't even have to go to court. It would be nice for you to go attend the trial, but you don't have to. It's called a
See,
preponderance of evidence.
See, I'm in a new neighborhood, so my house and I think 3 other houses, we're the only houses on the street, and they're still developing my neighborhood. So we don't have crime stoppers. Like we are the crime stoppers in my neighborhood because they're still developing the community. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I walk my dog 2-3 blocks over. I make sure that I account, okay, who is my neighbor? Hey, I'm Jaleesa, or, how are you? I'm trying to get to know everybody that moves in my community to make sure that I'm accountable and I know so-and-so that's next door. I know Miss so-and-so at the end of the street because my daughter stands at the bus stop every morning. As I head to work, I have an 11-year-old that stands at the bus stop for almost 35, 45 minutes by herself. So,
Right.
I mean, it's
And
in
then,
these
I'm sorry.
developing, neighborhoods. We don't have Crime Stoppers yet because they're new and upcoming developments. We have to do that ourselves.
Do y'all know
And
y'all
then,
neighbors?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I would say, do y'all know y'all neighbors? I was asking for everyone. Do y'all know y'all neighbors?
oh yeah, we definitely know
Oh,
all
yeah.
our neighbors. Yes, we know
We
everyone.
all we wouldn't
We
ask
all,
for better neighbors. We
yeah,
all look out for each other.
brother. Yes.
All we gotta do is go by the house and say, "Hey, we going for the weekend." Got you, bro. They
Mm-hmm.
even asked us to do it, and that's what we did every day. We walk
Correct.
around the house, make sure everything was good, make sure everything is straight. And for the ones with kids still in school, we be out there too, looking. He
Yeah.
looking, I'm looking.
And
Is it
actually,
important?
too, we're not actually in a neighborhood. We live off of a highway, so it's so easy for someone to just drive off the highway and just come over and try to, I mean, we had that one night where somebody, it was about 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
They was coming. We caught them on camera. They was in my neighbor's yard first, trying to open up our vehicles, and so they were just
What?
going down the line. And so our next door neighbor, he's a police officer. He came out, he shot his gun. So it's easier for people because we right off the highway. Like Mario said, we live at the beach, but yeah, we right off the highway, and so that's why we definitely have to know our neighbors and make sure that we definitely look out for each other because, like I said, it's probably about About 9 houses on our street.
Mhm.
About 9 or 10. That's it. That's just it. That's it.
Yeah.
So what? So change. What about your neighbors?
Oh, I know my neighbors, but I live in a military neighborhood, so people are coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
People are always in and out.
Yeah.
So it's like I tried since we've been here the longest. Like my parents, like they've been in this house for since the 80s. So when I come over here, it's like people we've been here long, so I know like to look out for other people.
Y'all been in Fayetteville that long?
Yeah, we've been here since the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you always so shocked about how long we've been here? I tell you,
I'm just saying,
up here.
and just so people know, you stay over. Yeah, she stayed way on yonder on the other side of Fayetteville.
I'm a local.
She stayed in what you stay with her by what? What was it? What's that airfield? That helicopter airfield?
What, 82nd?
Simmons Airfield.
So you stay by Simmons Airfield?
No, I stay off like Honeycutt, Ramsey Street.
You stay back on the
I'm
other
10
side.
minutes from Spring Lake.
Oh, Honeycutt. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's back away on the other side. She over in District 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's way out there on District 3 area. But yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things is that you know your neighbors. Like I did not know y'all was in that neighborhood that long, but okay.
Yeah. So I've seen people come and go, but it's with us, I try to look out. At least when people would move in, I try to at least speak. I do that. But they be everybody's so busy with their jobs and just going and just focusing on one thing. They don't think to speak to nobody.
No.
So let me ask y'all a question. So like cameras, I know y'all heard I heard y'all say cameras. Y'all saw stuff on the cameras. Do y'all think technology up to 2023 is effective for helping us snitch? I should say I'm gonna say snitch on people.
With cameras?
Yes, most definitely. Yes.
You have to have cameras.
And now
so it's like a must to have a camera now.
Now
yes.
Okay, so
I have to put a camera installed in my car.
I got one in my car. I got one in my car too. I got a camera in my car also.
You have a camera in your car?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have to. People be lying when you try to get in a wreck. You need insurance coverage.
You have to. And then with my camera, it records everything at night. So if you walk in front of my truck, the camera automatically comes on and records everything. Because it has a wide angle, so it automatically records. So a lot of people they don't really notice the camera until they get up close to it, but it does record. If I'm not in the vehicle, it's automatically going to start recording if it picks up motion.
Wait, send me that link to that camera.
That's different. I don't have a camera in my car. I haven't gone that far, but
my camera not that fancy. It comes on when you start the car up.
Right. Well,
I have a two-part question for everyone. I have a two-part question. Give me some examples of y'all think that what is the mindset of the person that came up with snitches get stitches, and then the actual person that believes that. You know what I'm saying? So I have some things I want to say, but I want to ask everybody on the panel.
Hold on. It's breaking up. Hold on. Go ahead, Mom.
Okay. What is the mindset of the? It's a two-part question. What is the mindset of the person or people that say snitches get stitches, and the person that believes that and won't tell? What do y'all think that? What do that actually means? The person that says that. What do that means to y'all?
A criminal activity. They about to go out and do some bad things. I mean, only people that say stuff like that are criminals. They it's just and the thing is, and the problem that we have in the black community, I'm gonna say majority, like I'm not gonna say all black, but I'm gonna say majority of the time is we grew up in that mentality to where, especially if you grew up in a real bad neighborhood. If you grew up back in the days, if you grew up in a bad neighborhood on the projects or whatever people want to call it, we got Rhonda. Everyone say hello to Rhonda. It's Kathy. Kathy Griggs and Rhonda's with us tonight.
Hello, Rhonda and Kathy.
And just so y'all know, Rhonda and Kathy, they're both. They do a lot of things for the community, for the Fayetteville community. And if I remember correctly, Rhonda is a private investigator. And then Kathy, they both work for Fayetteville PAC. So they have a lot of dealings with a lot of these things.
Does she do Rhonda take her private investigative skills out of town?
Or y'all gotta look on somebody? What's going on? It wasn't me. I'm gonna say it up front. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
So Channing, so what is your take on
She
that?
said yes. She said yes. She do go out of town.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get her. Yeah. So Channing, what is your take on that? What is what you think the mindset of the person that says snitches get stitches and the person that don't even that actually believe that and don't say anything?
So I'm gonna just speak from me first growing up, from my perspective. I did not hear people saying snitches get stitches. I lived in a secured household. I didn't really hear that, but on TV.
I know that's right.
I didn't hear that because I just grew up in my household is that if you see something, say something. So I didn't really hear snitches get stitches until I watched actual crime movies or shows. I didn't hear that. I didn't think that was a thing. I just thought it was something in movies and TV. But to answer the question, I think that's a fear tactic because you do see more people saying, "Oh, you say something, you're gonna get something coming." I'm like, that's just fear, putting fear in somebody's head.
Correct.
About something that can protect you. Because why would you want to live on eggshells and watch your back everywhere you turn because you holding back something that could protect you and your family?
That's true.
Yeah.
Good answer.
That's wild. That's wild to me. I'm like, okay, if I have to say something to protect my family and take the risk for it, I will, because I'm protecting more people instead of myself. I will put myself in front of an action before letting my family get involved.
All right, young lady. Wow.
I think
that was very
me
good.
As a woman, I don't want to. I think a man should do that, protect the household. But if it comes down
to you gotta learn, baby.
If you don't open up a can of worms,
I tell you, look, I'm telling you,
gotta learn how to fight too. We can fight too.
We can fight, but I don't want to.
Fight too. A little bit. It may not be a lot.
I'm a very protective person at the end of the day.
Yeah, me too. But you gotta
you just have to look out.
And I'm the same way, Channing, because I what I don't like is bullies. I hate bullies. You know what I'm saying? And hate is a strong word, so I try not to use that word because I was bullied for 3 years straight, and it's like my fear just went away, and it went away to a point to where I actually got off that day. I confronted my bully. And when I confronted my bully, that was the worst thing ever. I sent her to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't like bullies and stuff like that. And it's like people see other people being bullied, and it's like they don't even say anything because either they're afraid of the person that's being the bully.
Yeah, that's fear.
Or you know what I'm saying? And the person stops. But I had to be the one. I'm like you, Shannon. Just jump in front of no, you know what I'm saying? I had to be that one to stop it. Right. So after I had my confrontation with the bully was no more. And we're friends today. We go out to lunch sometime. She's no more. You know what I'm saying?
Because I just put in my head, it's like, I don't fear no evil. I don't. Correct. It's like you have to, I don't. Because you just go out in the world just being fearful of things, you're not gonna get nothing accomplished. You just not.
That's true. That's true.
There it is. There it is.
And then the culture has changed. The culture is changing drastically too, because now back in the day, a bully could bully you and almost get away with it. Now, it's anti-bullying things where they're stopping people from bullying. And I think that's critical because the children are learning this at a younger age.
Yeah,
that's not right. So that mentality of snitches get stitches
Mhm.
is pretty much going away to where it's more of if you see something, say something. And I mean, and I
Right.
learned that this what when we did the march this weekend. The young children that were out there, the two organizations that came out there, the police department, Fayetteville Police Department that was out there. All I heard was the cheer, what they were saying, the chant that they were saying,
Mhm.
see something, say something. And I've never heard it before. I've never heard anyone say that. I was like,
Really?
oh, that's a new one. I was like,
What?
I
okay.
never heard that. I never heard
So
snitches get
they
stitches.
See something, say something.
Really? In
What?
Texas, we
see,
used
yeah.
to chant that all the time. All the
What's
time.
that?
Where I'm from. See
Which
something,
one?
say something, like be who you are. Like we had all types of chants in Texas. All types.
And that's what said to me. I thought that was fascinating just to hear how they that chant, and then like I said, the kids are now being taught that. So it's kind of like one of those things to
Mhm.
where that is one way of educating the youth on how to fight crime at an early age. A bully
Mhm.
technically is a form of a crime, but when you get to the point where people are using that same fear to come in and take over your neighborhood, then we're going to run into some major problems. So, what type
Yes.
of things, like let's say, for example, let's get past the initial contact with the neighborhood. Let's talk about neighborhoods that are already in that fear factor. What can someone do with a neighborhood that's already got that fear factor going on? Oh, hello,
I,
Carrie. We got Carrie that just joined us,
Hey,
and then we
Carrie.
right.
also have Candy. Miss
Hey,
Hoskins. Hey, how you
Candy.
doing, Miss Hoskins? Miss Hoskins, she was one of the leaders. She was she's part of the organization Drums Up Guns Down, and y'all really need to check out her organization. Her organization is awesome. There is an awesome
Okay.
organization.
Well,
How's she doing?
I think that it has to be an initiative, maybe with one person or maybe two people. Like, I think it starts with someone just stepping up and going to door to door, or trying to get like community meetings and stuff in place, because it has to start right there, because if it doesn't, it's going to continue to be in the neighborhoods. So someone has to take the initiative to where, like Jen, like when it comes to fear, that they don't have fear anymore, because they don't want to live like that. They don't want to walk on eggshells. They don't want to tiptoe. So it has to be someone who's going to step up, take the initiative, try to get other people in the neighborhood involved in what they're trying to do, have a community meeting, and decide on what they're going to do when it comes to the crime in their neighborhood, because either you're going to be held hostage your whole life, or you're going to be
Mhm.
free. So that's what you have to
Yep.
do. It has to be someone or some people to take the initiative to come together and form some type of committee with other people, and they have to take fear out of the window. I mean,
Right.
they have to take fear out of the
Mom,
window. They
let
have
me
to.
let me piggyback off of you. You
Yes.
know, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but in my opinion, we got to start with the youth. We have to start with the youth. These kids, I'm the mom that sits outside in the lawn chair while my child rides her bike up and down the street. And I
Good.
see y'all. I may not tell her, oh, that's what's going on at house number 7, or that's what's going on down the block, but I see it. But we got the youth out there. I'm talking about older youth, like 11 and up, 11 to 17. You know what I mean? Outside shooting ball, having a good time, whatever. They see it. We know they see it because they talk about it at school, and they come home and they might tell their parents, yeah, mom, I saw this and I did this, but they don't report nothing to nobody. We got to instill in our children that it's okay to tell the truth. If you see something out there, be honest about it. You're not a snitch. You're not,
Hmm.
what society makes you to be as, especially as a man. You know what I mean? Little girls, they're going to come home and tell their mama. Boys, eh, it's a little different. So we have to instill in our youth that it's okay to say, yeah, man, my best friend, dad, this is my best friend, mom, this is my best friend, but he's doing X, Y, and Z, and it's not okay. Once we get that drilled into our youth, we're gonna be all right. But until that day, until that day,
So
That's yeah.
Hmm.
You're right,
Well,
Jaleesa. Go
you
you
ahead.
gotta
have to
drill it
break.
into the youth. It's the
You have
youth. It ain't
yeah.
us. It's the
You have
youth.
to you have to break the institutional mentality that's happening, because all that is institutionalizing the mind.
Yeah.
Snitches get stitches. I ain't gonna say nothing, because if you think about it, if you break it down, saying snitches get stitches, all that's doing is a person who instills fear is narrowing down the pool, so he will know if something is said. Well, I told him not
Hmm.
to say that. All he's
Who
doing
I
is
can
making
tell
you,
and who I can't
yeah.
tell.
All he's doing
There
is
you
making
go.
you the next victim. We've seen it so many times. We've seen it
Yep.
so many times.
Yep.
It's all in your head. It didn't make sense to me growing up. You can't say nothing to the
Neither
police.
did
Why?
it make sense to me. I
Why?
understand.
Why can't I say nothing to the police? He punched her in the face. Well, you guys supposed to say nothing. Why? We don't talk to the police. But that's wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what? I
Yeah.
mean, you ask too many questions. Yeah, and you say dumb stuff. If they ask me, I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna say it. It's not telling what it is. It's telling the truth.
But you want the same police to
Hmm.
protect you that you don't want to tell nothing to.
You
You know
Correct.
what I'm
can't
saying?
you can't have it both ways. You can't say we're not going to talk to the police. Then it happens to you. Now you want the police to step up and do their job and do this and do that and do that. But you haven't done your part. Get out of that institutional mindset and know that
Mm-hmm.
telling the truth is all there is. Anything else is a lie, and you would be dealt with accordingly. Anything that is not of God has an expiration date.
Correct.
So if you choose to make people fearful of you, guess what? It's gonna come a time when people are no longer gonna be in fear of you. If you choose to bully people, it's gonna come a time when that person gonna confront you.
Hmm.
Like
And
what?
once you lose that power, and see what they're not understanding is, once you lose that power, you're below the lowest.
Hmm.
You're nothing now. So it's better to do the right thing, because when you do the right thing, guess what? You don't have to look over your shoulder. But if
Right.
you decide, I saw what Mario did, but I'm not gonna say now, you looking over your shoulder. Is Mario coming for you?
Hmm.
Is Mario coming for you? Am I
Hmm.
next?
Mario.
Am I next?
Hmm.
Or am I next? Or what is he gonna
Is it
what he gonna do?
Mario?
He gonna do
We
something
don't
else to
know.
somebody else. And the biggest thing for me, like I alluded to earlier, the biggest thing for me is I want to prevent it from happening to somebody else. I want to prevent that from happening to somebody else. And the
Correct.
only way to prevent that and make the world better is to see something, say something. I will not be able to sleep if I
Yep.
stood by and watched something happen and said nothing. It is so bad that the police are surprised when you say something. You want me to come by your house? Yes. You sure? Yes. Yeah, you can come on by. I'm gonna tell you everything. Matter of fact, we're gonna stand out in the front yard and we're gonna talk and we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna give you a barbecue sandwich while we talk, and we're gonna get this done. Because what what is wrong with the police coming up to your house asking you what happened? Yes, I saw this car and these people did that and these people did that. I didn't recognize the car. I wrote here's the license plate. What's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, let me say that, and I'm glad you said that because in today's society, we have, and this is the thing that bothers me the most is we got leaders out here that are pretty much saying things to where the police are our last resort. We shouldn't use the police first. We should use all other means first before we go to the police. Now, some things, yeah, I can see that, but not but the police when it comes to protection and safety, they should be the first ones we talk to. And then as far as
Mm-hmm.
our relationship with the police, how many of y'all, like I said, like how many of y'all are okay, like have a relationship with a police officer? I mean, where you say you can use like I mean, me, I know some of the police officers that I've worked on, like they come to the skating ring, or I see out that I've worked with before with different events. I have an actual communication with them. I have no problems talking to police officers. So one of the things that we have to get back to, y'all remember back in the day when what's that dog's name?
Uh,
The brown
McGruff,
hound,
McGruff.
McGruff. Remember when
McGruff the dog. Yes.
Gruff
Mm-hmm.
Dog? Remember when he used to come to the school and we thought that was the coolest thing in the world because he had a trench coat? You know, it's like
Yes.
everybody thought that was the coolest thing in the world. It's like, and I think that's what it is now is the police, the federal police department. is reaching out and they're trying to connect with the community. And I think that is one of the biggest things is that the leaders have to understand that we have to keep the police involved. We don't have to call the police, but we need to build a better communication, a better relationship with the police officers. And if you're in a leadership position, you should lead from the front. You shouldn't
Correct.
just because you have your own personal issues with the police. You should not. If you have your own personal issue with the police, then you should not be in a leadership position. If you can't work with the police department because your own issues, you need to step down. You need to go to the side. We got to get our leaders, and I think Brenda said it. We got the leaders posing in City Hall, talking gangsters. Let me see here. Let me click on that. So you
Feeling
got to see.
proud about it.
Yeah,
Taking
we
gangster
got
picture,
the
feeling
leaders
proud.
posing in
Oh,
City Hall, taking some gangster pictures and feeling proud about it. I
We
mean,
had
that
it done here just last week. I don't know if you
really,
guys know, but this past week we had something called Cruising the Coast, where people come out from everywhere just to cruise because I live by the beach. So they cruise up and down 90 Boulevard, and they were writing tickets with quotation marks, tickets. You drove the best car. They were fake handcuffing people, fake putting people in the cop car, throwing up peace signs and throwing up the, middle finger. And these are our police officers doing this. Okay, mind you, for cruising the coast because it's fun to do, right? But then spring break comes around when all the young kids come, black, white, African American, Indian, everybody, polka dotted. They come out in April. Oh, yeah, it's a whole different story. It's a whole different story. They pick and choose when they want to be fun or when they want to enforce the law out here. And I don't want to say the Delta because I'm not in the Delta, but I'm in deep Mississippi. You know what I mean? So you can't pick and choose. You're either going to be law enforcement or you're going to be friends. Be friends like I work in healthcare. I don't pose in my uniform. That's unprofessional.
right?
It's just unprofessional. There's a time and a place for everything. When I have my uniform on, I am a medical professional. When I take my uniform off, I'm your friend then. We can go have drinks. We can go do this. I would never go out in my uniform with a, label stating my hospital or where I'm from or what I'm doing. It's just unprofessional, and I think a lot of cops, they don't know how to switch it on and switch it off. They think it's like, oh, I want them to think that I'm cool. You're not cool. You're doing a job. This is a job. Your job, do it. When you clock out, you can be fun then. But not
Right.
I think with
That's
the black
security.
community, when it comes to, like Mario was saying, when it comes to police officers and stuff like that, I think that a lot of us go back to the history when it comes to cops and brutality. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like
Right.
a lot of people, and we have to know that they're not all bad cops. There are some good cops, but then we have to try to establish that relationship again when it comes to the police officers, because a lot of people, they don't like the police based on the brutality. Like, they feel like black people, young black men, whatever, don't get the same type of punishment as it will as a white counterpart. And I think it's more of a fear when it comes to the police officer, because it's like a lot of times we don't know who good and who bad. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have a history of going through so many things, where it be, what is it called whenever the police just pick you out when you're driving down the road, you got a nice car, profiling. Like they profiling. Like when they profile you, whenever you could be in the mall with your friends and they automatically just come up to you, they think that you're up to no good. It's just like, and I think that when it comes to us as black people, when it comes to the police, I think that we have to learn how to establish a relationship with them, because we do kind of fear them based on how we always been treated when it comes to the police officers, because we see things visually. Like we see things that we could never get away with that if it was one of us doing this to the police. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, they're not all bad, because I have police officers in my family and they're not all bad, but it's just like, how do we establish that? How do we get back to that so we can have relationships with the police officers, so we don't have to be afraid of the police officers based
But
on
that takes,
what
and I think,
our trauma was with the police.
and that's what I think is that we got to do is as a community, we have to have an open conversation, and we have to sit together like just like this event that we did this past Saturday. The police chief wanted to do it, and he chose a neighborhood that was like that had been hit hard within the last 2 months with crime. And a lot of people said that. Let me see here. Let me go back. What did she just? Okay, here. I'm gonna let her. I want everybody to see this comment.
All police are the same something and it went off.
I told her. What?
All police are the same.
Give me a
There's some
second.
good and bad, but they truly love their job. It's our job to build a positive relationship with them as
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
just said that.
Now,
And I think that's one of the
happened-
biggest things. Is one of the biggest things about it is we have to understand who is in our community, and we have to understand who are the police officers that we're dealing with. It's just like how many people know what precinct is responsible for your area? How many know what precinct to go to
For your neighborhood? I'm sorry.
for your for your neighborhood or for your area?
Oh,
So
I know that.
and so those are things that people need to know. I know I have one.
I know that.
I
know that. That's one thing I
talked to
do
one
know.
mother that actually took her children when they first got stationed here at Fayetteville, and they were staying off base. This one single mother took her children to the police department and introduced them because her child had special needs, and she wanted to make sure that she wanted to know who was going to be in her area, who works her area, and she wanted that police officer to meet her son because she didn't want her son to be misunderstood because of his special needs. That is a parent taking responsibility to make sure their child's going to be protected.
Correct.
Make sure their child is not misunderstood. And so it can't just be a one-sided thing where we got to wait for the police to reach out to us. In some cases, we need to initiate that contact. And I think that's what Chief, and I will say this, that's what the Chief of Police, Chief, what he's trying to do is he's trying to build better relationships with the community. He's doing a lot of it. Like, and Ms. Hoskin can tell you, Ms. Hoskin will let you know that, her group, her organization, they went out there, like I said, drums, excuse me. Ooh. Drums down, drums up,
guns down.
I was always going to say it backwards.
I'm sorry, my kids came in the room.
Huh? Oh, but that's one of the things that her organization, and I want people, I'm not going to tell her story. I want y'all to go look at her story and look at the reason why she started her organization. It was amazing. This past Saturday was extremely amazing. And so that's what it's just building that relationship. Now I do want to ask our millennium in the room that's representing. How do you feel about all this?
What do you mean? What do I know about all this?
I'm not you. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You're the millennial. What are you? Kent Cheney?
I'm 32. I'm a millennium, right?
Okay, no, you're not. Okay, now what's the word for the young one? Because she's 24.
That's millennial. I'm a millennial.
I want to be a millennial, but they put me in the Gen Z category.
You're a Gen Z.
The Gen Z.
Okay.
Gen Z. I'm millennial.
I don't even know what
Gen
that
Z.
means.
So I'm sorry, I said millennial because she said millennial earlier. So Gen Z, what do you have to say about all this?
I think so.
Because
I don't even. First of all, I don't even associate with people in my age group, but
Correct. High five to that.
I don't, because I just feel like I can't communicate with people. That's because I don't feel like it's not like-minded. Because I feel like I don't want to say that I'm on a higher level, but I'm just more mature.
You can say it.
I'm just more mature in how I grew up.
That's how it was.
And it's just that the first thing that comes to me is protecting my family. That's it. Because at the end of the day, that's all you have.
Period.
That's who you're gonna be around. So you have to figure out, can you trust the police in your neighborhood? And then you have to be very, like, I'm an observant person of what's going on everywhere I go, because I'm by myself all the time. So I can't be going off just living in la la land and not facing reality of like what's going on in this world. It's like I have to look out even when I'm going to the grocery store, because you don't know what's going to happen that day. You have to be looking out with your surroundings about who's next to you, because you don't know that person. You could be shopping right next to somebody that's going to commit a crime tomorrow. You don't know.
So let me ask you this: like, as far as, and I know some of y'all. I know we talked about this with the last show. Um, I'm just curious. What do you think of the curfew?
I didn't even hear nothing about that curfew till you told me about it.
Oh, you
I
said
asked her earlier.
you said
I
a
asked her,
curfew.
yeah, I asked her about curfew because what's going on here is
Citywide curfew.
they were trying to do a citywide curfew back in September. And I asked her, what does she know? And she like, what curfew? I don't even know anything about curfew. I said, you don't know anything about a curfew? And she said, no, she never heard anything. And you live in what district? You're in 3, okay? So she had never heard anything about a curfew, and she lives in District 3. So then I said, well, then I told her, kind of give her some insights on it. And I kind of explained to her what it was in reference to. And I mean, and like right now, they're working out all the issues and things of that nature. When I told her she need to go look at it, just so she understands, because it doesn't affect her because she's older than the number that is. So that's that's
So
one thing.
what was the citywide curfew just for like people under the age of 17 and below or something? Be in the
Well, it's
house.
something. Well, they had a different breakdown by your age, and it was more so a
Like
curfew
due to
that people.
COVID or something like that, or just a
That's
citywide
what I
curfew?
thought.
Just a
See, that's
citywide
when
curfew.
the curfew was during COVID time.
Right, we did have a curfew then because of COVID, but like now it's
This
more
is just
so
a
of.
citywide curfew.
Right. It was more so because of all the crime. The crime had picked up, and a lot of the youth were the ones getting hurt, getting killed, and it was bad. Back in August, it was really got real bad for a minute. Yeah, we had 30 cars stolen within 1 week.
Oh my
Um,
God.
so things got real bad. So I just was asking out of curiosity because when I asked her about it earlier before the show, she just they said, okay, Jonathan said they should have. Let's
Approve
see
the
here.
curfew.
Should have approved the curfew, but the true issue is what is there to do in our city to keep our children active and engaged in something positive and
Absolutely.
productive.
There's a lot of things,
That's a
and I
good
think that,
point.
There it
and I
is.
think
That's what I was talking
that's the
about
biggest
earlier.
point. Is that I said
There
that
it
when I first
is.
came to Fayetteville, that was one of the biggest things that I said is there's no platform for the children here. If your child is not involved with sports, if your child is not involved in the church, there's no other
I mean,
platforms
that's
here.
still
That's
not
all
much
we
to
have
do.
were sports and
Yeah.
in the church.
Yeah.
But let me speak from a millennial that has changed her life, okay? You can drop your kid off at the skating ring and think they're going to the skating ring, and they can be anywhere else, so they can put all the resources and they can do the best of the best.
Right.
But you have to instill in your child,
Right.
okay, I'm dropping you off here. I trust you. This is a trial period. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't expect the government to do everything for us. It does start at home. It starts at
Right.
home. I
And I,
remember my parents dropping me off and expecting me to be at the movie theater when I was at
right.
Walmart, walking around, acting a
Not
fool.
not the Boomer Room Walmart. What?
Yeah, they would drop me off at the movies and I would be at Walmart walking around the aisles. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? And I'm glad you said
I'm
that
just
because
being
I'm not sure
honest,
if
like,
y'all noticed. Y'all remember
and
back in the
now,
days before
yeah,
COVID, all the crazy stuff that would happen in Walmart after midnight
Mm-hmm.
when they were open 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah.
Now,
shut that down.
The one that used to have
It was the place to
McDonald's in
be.
it.
It was the place to be. So it's like the government can put all of these resources, like down here in I live in Ocean Springs, but I'm close to Biloxi and Gulfport, all the casinos. I live in a tourist city. So we have casinos and theme parks and all that, all the jazz. When I drop her, off at the skating ring, I sit outside in my car, mind my business, and let her skate. So she feels like she has independence. However, mommy is right outside and I'm watching everything. You think I'm gone, but I'm not. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it just starts at home. It's like, I don't know, like, we can say, like, because I remember a statewide curfew. Going out with your friends, you had to be home by 11. Your parents had to pick you up by 11 o'clock, or else you got a ticket,
But
for
Jaleesa,
being out late after curfew.
but Jaleesa though, like in like where you from, Biloxi and stuff like that. See, there's a lot to do. You understand what I'm saying? But here, like with Fayetteville, I think the problem is that like to me, I feel like it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not no growth, no growth here. You know, it's no choices and stuff like that. So we're trying to find somewhere or something for these teenagers and stuff to do. You know, it's like so. It's really nothing. Even me being a grown woman, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I roller skate. Me and my husband, we have date night. I have friends and stuff like that. I can go to the movie and stuff like that. But if I want to, like, it's just not too many options and stuff here. But
yeah, and same for the kids out here. It's like it's not much, but like they have skate zone, they have like a little theme park and whatnot, and arcades and stuff like that, skating rings, but you just can't expect for them to put a whole bunch of stuff and think that the kids are going to be safe, because kids are going to be kids.
Yeah.
Period. They're going to be
you said,
kids.
it starts at home. The parents have to be a part of it. A lot of parents just like they want to just take their responsibility and just give it to somebody else. Like you said, they want to drop them off at the skating ring. Like you said, you sit in the parking lot. You have a lot of parents that drop their children off. You have some kids that have to try to get there the best way they can, and then when it's time to come get home or get a ride, they're either too drunk or they won't answer the phone, or they don't have a ride. You know what I'm saying? And that's really sad. And you're right. It does start with the parents. You have to take accountability for your children. You have to be in your children's life. And nowadays, the way things are now, and as much as stuff is happening, you don't even want to drop your child off nowhere. You want to be walking down and walking through the mall with them and everything. You just.
I want to say now. I want to say this though, and I'm glad, Ms. Hoskins, I'm glad you said that. Like now, their policy is you can't drop your kids off at the skate rink anymore because that's how bad things have gotten for them.
So now,
but Mario, that's not true. Because my daughter was a parent. It was kids that was outside that was trying to get into the skate ring, right? Because their mom and my daughter had to sign other children in, and they parents, like I said, and it's still my daughter. When she takes my grandson, she always there, and she said there's still kids in there that don't even have their parents in that skate ring with them. And I'm like,
well, I mean, what I'm saying is that when it comes to Friday and Saturday nights, you cannot drop your kids off. Now I know that things when they started that policy, all the fights, all the issues that the skating rinks were having completely went away. So now if they got relaxed with that problem, relaxed with it again, that means that first initial contact, when they put that policy in, there was a lot of mad parents, but guess what? The only people that came in, and see, I can't speak on 71st. I only can speak on Utah. Because I know Utah, we are real strict with it. So I can't really speak on 71st. But what happened was when that policy kicked into place, that cut back on a lot of because kids were using the skating rink as a club.
Yeah.
So majority of people that were coming in there weren't skating. And even in Atlanta, growing up in Atlanta, our policy was when you came in that door, you put on skates. And if you don't put on skates, you're going home.
There it is.
That was the thing.
That's how the skating ring is.
That's how it should be.
To make sure that these people,
because when we was growing up in Utah, and that's
right.
How it
that's what I'm saying. In Atlanta, that solved a lot of problems because in Atlanta, and growing up in College Park, and it was skate town. I can say that in skate town, when you came in that door, you immediately had to put on skates. You either had your skates, or you go right down into the skate room and get your skates. But if you've been there longer than 10, 15 minutes, you ain't got no skates on, you got to go. And that cut back because before that policy kicked in, we had one child get shot in the head in the parking lot.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
And he survived because it was a 22. It was a 22 caliber gun that they used. But it was just one of those things to where when that happened, that business said, okay, we're done. We had enough of it. And that's what's going on also is that the businesses in Fayetteville, I've gotten fed up with it because when you have children, again, I'm not saying all children are bad, what I'm about to say, but when you have a lot of young youth come in and you got those some that don't know how to act, they ruin it for everybody. And
Correct.
Yeah.
that's where these rules come into place. And it's like, so I agree, it does start at home. But like the platforms we have in College Park and ATL growing up, they don't have those policies. They have barely have maybe 1% of what we had in Atlanta. And yeah, I know, right? I'm just cascading. So it's just I think that's why I said is I asked that question just so we can, kind of get a feel of it, because one of the things that the curfew was one tool to help fight felt crime and things of nature. The other one, I know we were ran out of time. The other one was the shot spotter. A
Mm.
lot of people don't like shot spotter. But the data shows that it's extremely accurate. When I say
Yeah.
extremely accurate, it's able to pick up and let you know when shots are fired. My goal, I just use that as an example. But what other tools can the police use to help us fight? To say something, see something, say something. What other things can we do to help the police win back some of these neighborhoods that have been
Well,
taken over?
just have a better relationship with the police officers. You know, get familiar with the police officers in your district and stuff. So I think a relationship, and get to know the ones that's in your district and stuff. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like what was said earlier. See, Lisa said hit the nail on the head. It starts at home. And in order for the police to build a better relationship with the community, and the community to build a relationship with the police, it starts at home. So that means each person got to do something to let the other person know, okay, we're good. The trust is back. We're good. So
Correct.
for the police, you got to let us know. You gotta confirm with us that if one of yours do something wrong, he's gonna be prosecuted.
Yeah.
And then for the police, okay,
Yeah.
got you, man. We'll do that. We're gonna do that. Then the police have to know that if something happens, we're gonna say, hey, yes, boom, this is what happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is the license plate. This is that. It's like it's got to be a handshake. It's got to be a
Yeah.
handshake. Okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna show you.
They got to
In
hold
order to
hold
do
their
this,
police officer accountable too.
then we got to do that. And what it is having a little small little get together or something, and you introduce all the districts. What district you live in? This is your policeman. Okay,
Right.
you live in
Mm.
District 3. This is your policeman. Let's have some hamburgers and hot dogs. Everybody meet him. Do you have any
Correct.
questions? And
Mm-hmm.
then that policeman take his district, the people that showed up for his district, and he talked to them. He introduced himself. And
Correct.
then that's how you start to build the trust, because that's what it is. There's
Yes.
no trust left. The trust is gone.
There's
Right.
no
See, and what
rapport
what
at all.
what we as a people need to see is that if one of yours do something wrong,
We have to be held accountable.
you gonna hold them accountable and not just
They're
say,
going to hold
okay,
us accountable.
okay, nothing good. But see, then that's where the trust is. That's where the breakdown comes.
Hmm.
You want to hold me accountable, but you're not holding your own accountable. That's where it starts at home. In order for us to help the police, we have to instill what the kids should be doing. And we have to
Mhm.
hold them parents accountable. Hold them parents
You have
accountable.
to.
If this child
Right.
is underage and he's got this many times that he done been in trouble with the police, okay, we need to do an internal review because there's something wrong in that. There's something wrong with that picture,
Correct.
and that's how we fix it. We got to build a trust amongst each other, and that's how you do it. If Officer Eric does something wrong, he is held accountable because
Correct.
you can't say, well, we ain't gonna do nothing to him. But then you want us to tell you about what Mario did and have lock him up and throw it. That's not how it works. You have to build a trust. That's with any
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
Right.
Any relationship.
Well, one of
It
the
has
things I
to
want
be
to say
trust.
is because I know we're out of time. Is we got is I'm gonna let because I know Eric, my sir, you said. Um, so Jaleesa, what is your recommendation?
Um, it starts at home. I'm always gonna say that it starts at home. I teach my kids, you see something, you say something, and come if you don't want to tell your friends that you saw it, that's okay. I understand that. You don't want to be the outcast, you don't want to be, a snitch. Come home and tell your mama, and mama's gonna handle it from there, But if you see something, say something. We have to instill in our kids this from the get-go. I have an 8-year-old, I have an 11-year-old. You can call it tattletelling or you're telling da da da, whatever. Come
That's
to
right.
your
But that's
parents and let me know what's going on. If you see it, I don't care if you were riding your bike around the block and you saw somebody do this. It may be innocent, but come home and tell mommy.
right.
I'll figure it
And I
out.
think that's and I think that's one of the things that
Yeah.
I'm gonna say is that what Eric said earlier was trust. Just like parents, kids should be able to trust their parents.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That trust, like I said, what you gonna say? That word trust is a very big word.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I raised my kids from the beginning to trust me, no matter what. You can tell me anything,
That's right.
anything,
That's
Right.
right.
and I'm
So,
there 100%.
so Cheney, what is your recommendation?
I say the same thing what everybody else was saying. Just having that communication with people in your household, with the police. Just get familiar with your surroundings
Correct.
because it's at the end of the day, it's all about safety.
Yeah.
Protecting yourself, protecting your family, protecting your household, your neighborhood. You just have to be very observant of your surroundings and just knowing who to trust and who to talk to and who to go to about if you see a crime, you see something that's abnormal, you need to report it or you need to tell somebody like, "Oh, did you see this person over here?" It's like, "Yeah, you just because you keep that to yourself, you something bad might happen. You just don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There
Exactly.
was too many crime
Shannon,
shooters
I
for
can
you
tell you
not
some
to,
stories, Shannon.
huh? What did you
I
say?
I said, Channing, I can tell you some stories about how I got
Right.
ran up on in Mississippi, honey.
Because
Well,
I
I
watched
just
too
say,
much 2020 and Criminal Minds shows to be not protective over myself.
I know that's right.
That's right. That's
I know.
right.
You gotta
My
learn
brother
well,
used to always
somewhere.
tell me, like, what did you? I
well,
be
I think
driving
this was
down
a
the
really
street.
good show.
Mhm.
I was gonna say this is a really good show. I know we're 10 minutes over. This was a really good show. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Um, I don't know next week. We'll tune back in next week. I know Eric never did it. Okay, I keep jumping in and out. Next
Mm-hmm.
week we're going to pick up on this. 'Cause I know this was part two of what we started last week, and so like we're going to go with like this was a real good subject. So we're going to do a part three next week.
Oh, part three.
And this one was really more so of the trust and the communication and how we could build a stronger community relationship with everyone that has anything to do with the community. Get rid of all the bullies and focus on how we can build things, build a better community. Um, Miss Hopkins, okay. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this. Please go look up her organization. There's a lot of organizations like hers, but hers is, I mean, she just started as of last year. And I mean, she is you'd be amazed of all the things she's done within a year's time frame. So please check out her organization. It's Drums Up, Guns Down, and it's all about trying to fight violence in our community. All right. So again, thank y'all for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see y'all next time.
I
And
had a
with
lot of fun. I
It
hope I
was
get
fun.
invited back.
Right.
oh,
You're
definitely will.
already invited. Both of you.
Same crew.
Yay!
Y'all like say y'all come on look. Y'all look, we definitely want y'all both to come on back. Cheney and Jaleesa, please come on back. And then I know we had a lot more people that was with us too that we'll probably reach out to them as well and see if they would like to come in and join. And
So she
then
said she'll be back next week. She had it was her birthday week, so she said she'll be back next week.
okay. So look, I know I can get up to 10 people. That with the payment thing I paid, I can get 10 people up here. So we
So
can
it's
get all
every Tuesday, right?
every Tuesday at
6:30.
6:30.
Let's
Okay.
We
go.
have this,
I'm there.
and the key thing is let's talk. And believe it or not, let's talk was Eric, and Marcella was just talking one day, and we just wanted to just talk about what was going on and kind of like see how people would feel about it. And we started because it's a good place for all of us to come together to talk about the same common issues that we're having with today's society, and how can we fix it? We don't just sit here and talk about it, but we also come up with solutions on how it can be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. We're about to get out of here, and we'll see y'all next time.
Have a
Peace.
good evening.
Bye.